Hey guys, welcome back. Stop, talk, and roll. Episode, I don't even know what episode we are on. Like 330, something like that. Today we have a submission from my man Alejandro over here in the white and gold. I love that. And we have against him in the black and white here, Pablo. Alejandro, I'm filming this live right now, so I'm doing some YouTube live. I didn't really announce it ahead of time too much, but he's been hanging out the whole time. He found out that I'll take submissions, so he submitted a round, so I'm happy to get him on here. If I accidentally mess up the names, I'm sorry. I do that all the time. But Alejandro is white and gold. Pablo is black and white. And if you ever want to get your episode on the show, I'll break it down. Just check out the description below. We'll get you on here. This is an in-house, white belt only, Nogi kind of competition they got going on. So I'm assuming, and he'll let me know in the chat in a second, that there's points. Might be sub only, not sure, but let's see. We'll get it going. We got some stand up. Oh, we're off screen. Hopefully we'll come back on. Sub only. Okay, so it's sub only. All right, they're coming back on screen. I think the camera's going to move around with them because I noticed. I just skimmed around real quick, then it moved around. So one of the things, actually, well, right there, that something changed up. So one of the things you want to do when you're engaging in stand up, think about like every situation that you're in, every neutral situation that you're in, you want to improve your position. Standing is going to be a neutral position. Hypothetically, depending on where you end up. But like when you initially start, you're in a neutral position. 50-50 is a neutral position, right? Not too many of them, but they're there. So you have to make some adjustments to get a better position, right? To get an advantage. When you're standing and we've engaged, right? So we both created connections. We're looking to manage distance now. One of the things you want to do is the first thing is to create angles. Okay, so a good thing to do with Alejandro, with your head being on this side of Pablo's, is shifting to your would be your left and getting your head into their neck. Okay, and this actually, I might even do this for the game tonight. What that allows you to do is maneuver his body. Okay, so then you can use that to move him around and make him step, and that can help you set up your takedowns or whatever you want to do, stand up submissions, whatever that may be. But moving him around in that position is going to be good. Another thing is going to be, if you can, and it looks like it's about to happen to you, is adjust your level. And one of the other things you could do is snap downs, right? But to be able to do a snap down, you're going to have to disconnect your head. All these things, right? It's just manipulation of your head, manipulation of your alignment with your partner. So he's able to get under you here. Oh, but nice, you get that underhook. He fights it back. Okay, good. We got an adjustment. And then one of the main things, I mean, you look a lot more calm, cool, and collected than Pablo does, but just remembering just to breathe. Just, and that's not, I'm not saying that as a white belt, I'm saying that as a competitive side of things. Like just remembering to breathe and relax. You guys are all over the place. Jumping around here. That's okay. It's competition. Comes in. Okay, I'm going to break that down in a second. Okay. And it settles. Okay. So, back it up. A lot just happened there. So, he's able to hit kind of a snap down, grabs the leg, and falls. And then this is kind of what you were talking about with falling over before, right? So, you're good here. He's able to come up and takes you up high. So, okay, so here, one of the first things I would do from this position is I always want to recenter myself. Now, if you think about maintaining chest to chest, right? Right now, you don't have chest to chest. Okay, so you're on top, but he has an avenue to your back, right? He's about to come around and get chest to back connection. So one of the first things I would do is look to reorient myself to get on top of him. And to do that, your right arm, right? So you can't really see it. It's kind of, cut off by the bodies, but it's right here. You're going to have to get that back out and around, all right? Ideally into an underhook, but just something so you have something on each side of his body. Rather simple to understand what happened there, but it was really good by Pablo. to get up and under. Now for Pablo, I think we'll see what happens, I guess, but I think he kind of jumped the gun with falling down. You know what though, but he's on your back, so I'm not going to say anything. It's chest to back position. He needs to get some kind of control of you though. So you need to get like a head and arm. I know he's like digging for that submission, but for you right now, you could spin out, which is what it looks like you're going to do, because he has no, I would look towards him. But you know what? Yeah, it's weird to think about, but you actually want to look towards the choke, not away from it. So you actually want to look this way, but you're not in the choke, so you're fine. Yep. Defending your neck though, that's super important. It's like whatever escape, doesn't matter if you get choked out. So it's good that you keep adjusting and going for that. Beautiful. Nice. This is an improvement in position for you. A nice transition out for Pablo too. I don't know how much energy is going on. He seems like a pretty athletic dude, but I can imagine towards the end of this round, you know, it's only been like a minute and a half, but I could see him getting very tired and you kind of getting in the front foot here. All right, so we left off with a frame. Beautiful. Leg. Okay, good. Elbow, good. Yeah, that got a little dangerous right there for a second. So that could have been sketchy if he caught that. Nice. There you go. You just sit up. Why not? All right, so this is what we were talking about before, actually. It's a good example right there. So we were talking about in an earlier video, like 2 or 3 videos ago, about maintaining top position, right? So you can see here, like chest to chest is always going to change because the bottom player is always going to be moving, okay? Now, let's say the bottom player is not moving. You just need to put your chest, your sternum directly on their sternum. When I teach the kids class, I say like, it's like Iron Man, right? So your Iron Man chest, that little, like the arc reactor, whatever the hell it's called, it goes on theirs, right? So just chest to chest. But obviously the bottom player is going to move. Right now, you're okay. It's a little forward, but watch what happens when he moves. As he turns away from you or towards your head, right? You don't adjust immediately, so your body goes flying over him. Now, it doesn't mean he's immediately going to get out. It doesn't mean you can't adjust, but this isn't ideal right now. Ideally, what you'd have happen is as he turns away from you, as he goes to turn, you actually kind of suck in your chest a little bit and let him turn and put some friction on it towards his shoulder. So instead of being out here, just scoot your body back a little bit. Not much, but it'll put a lot more pressure and keeping good chest to chest position. The other thing too is he gets his frame in, and notice the second he does that, he's out, right? So let's see, back here. Right, so you're digging under. Okay, so yeah, you see his arms between your body. So the first thing I would do before trying to really control his head like so, is I'm not sure what control you have on the other side for what it's worth, but when he's up like this, controlling his head isn't really the priority right now. It would be to control this arm with the head. So looking to getting like a fear 4 lock around his head or something on this arm is going to keep him controlled, especially when your weight's kind of going away from him like that. But good, you get right back over. Okay, this is a better angle. Very good, very good. So like right there, just in the context of side control anyways. So turn, turn, turn. So like right here, what I would recommend is isolating this arm, right? This arm, he's doing a really good job of posting into your hip, and he's going to use that to almost escape. You see how he creates that elbow knee connection. That's really good for him. So you can adjust that by kind of switching your hips, right? So drive your hip this way up top and drive your hip this way on the bottom to kind of like come under and scoop it. You can use this arm to grab and pull. You could use this arm under his tricep to lift. scoop and lift, right? So you have some options of kind of how to solidify down on that. Okay, but but you also do a nice job of just switching sides. That's also a great option. My only concern with that, especially as you get higher up, is anytime you drift your legs over their legs, it's, especially when you get higher level guys, you're just going to grab your leg. So just keep that in mind. So if you are going to adjust sides, you usually want to go either around the head. Obviously, you don't have to worry about the legs there, or go across the hip. Once you're above the legs, you really want to stay above the legs. You don't really want to go back down there. Not the end of the world if you do. You just have to work through that situation again. And bring it back full circle to our first video of the day. Okay, so you're in a very similar situation to what I was in. You have a very narrow base here. He clips the leg and he gets up. So what you could do, we were talking about before, once you're here, right, one of the things you could look to do is put your hook on, instead of the inside of his leg here, just switch it over to his outside hip. So instead of being right here, you just take it over so it's on his hip, okay? And then from there, you would shoot your knee on, you'd be your left knee, so the knee that's off camera. You shoot your knee up here too, and this will let your head drift down here a little bit more to post. So when he goes to take you, look, you end up going right over here, right? Your head is posted over here. It does nothing for you. As you adjust your whole body, your head would now be kind of right here, right? Instead of your head being up here, look at the difference. Your head would be down here. And then also, your knee would be up here. I'm sorry, your foot would be up here. So then you could adjust your knee out here in post. And because your foot's up here, it's going to allow your hip to move more, allowing your knee to drift out. So your knee wouldn't be able to just go right here. It'd be able to come all the way out here. Okay, so then you have your knee post and your head post, and this leg's all the way up around this arm. And as he turns, you attack that arm because it's going to be right there in front of your face. Right, so lots of things you can kind of throw in there. Hey, it happens. Reestablishing a guard. Attacking the arm. Good. Pulls his arm out. So follow up with that, right? So as he pulls this arm out, glue your hips to his arm. So even if he's going to like pull his arm out, if your hips are really glued to his arm, follow him up, and then this leg can come right around and you can put him into a triangle, right? So you could follow right up with that. The other thing you could do is, if that doesn't happen, exactly what happened to you right here, as he pulls his arm up, instead of your leg being up here, you can kind of keep your knee where it is, but bring your foot right down here, and you can use that to kick him over, right? So always look for follow-ups. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so that armbar. Beautiful setup. Go. Nice. So obviously, couple things here. You guys are, look, his face is going, ooh, rolled over again. Well, here's the thing. You guys are obviously training partners, and you're not going to break his arm. If this is like a competition, Pablo, I'd be very careful here. Like, you obviously trust each other. This is in the gym. Like, even if it's an in-house, like, you're not going to break each other's arms. But like, you definitely have him dead to rights here. Like, just straight up. Like, that's one of the things about sometimes with submission escapes is, yeah, they're really important, but if you actually applied them, and I'm going to do one more video today where I talk about that, but if you actually apply them at full speed, there's some things that can happen. So here, now, belly down armbar. So if you know you're going to go over, right? So here, he kind of takes you back. You got to roll up with him. So what I would do is, let me see. Let me watch. You come over. So I would have your left arm maintain contact with his arm, either with a shotgun grip or just right on the wrist, whatever it is, and keep it tight. I'm still applying the hip pressure. I'm still keeping it tight. What you would do with your right arm, or honestly, it could be either arm. Maybe actually, honestly, maybe with my right arm. And with my left arm, I could post myself up to get distance from the floor. And then I would go back. I'd go post my head on the mat, 2 hands on his arm, and hip into the floor. And you still finish the armbar. So no reason to let that up. But you come up on top, which is fantastic. And then same thing. Where's that sweep? How does he do this? He just catches and rolls. Is that your foot there? Yeah. Yeah, I would say, make sure your hands are always ready to go. Yeah, make sure your hands ready to go to post out. Or you could slide up to your foot. So what you would do is, your foot's underneath his body, so it's a little hard. But you can always step up. Like, either you have 2 options, right? Or I guess you have a bunch, but like, don't discount removing your hips from the equation, right? So you can post here. You can also raise your hips, and this is a silly demonstration I do when I'm teaching like mountain control, but it goes a long way. I said this in an earlier video, so if you're hearing this again, sorry, but if you're sitting on someone's hips and they bump, right, you're gonna respond. So if I'm sitting directly on the hips and they bump, I'm gonna go forward. So the demonstration I'll do is I'll sit on someone's hips. I'll say, okay, go ahead, bump me, and I'll fall over, and then I'll stand above them, right? Literally, I'm just standing above them, and I go ahead and bump me, and obviously nothing happens because I'm standing above them, right? And then they go to bump, nothing happens. It's like silly, everyone laughs, but it drives the point home that like if your hips aren't connected to their hips, nothing's gonna happen. Here you're really heavy on your hips, which is not necessarily wrong, but your 2 defenses are either going to be to post, which isn't an option because he has it trapped. The other one would be to pop your hips up here, step up on this foot, and now, he can't get his hips in. The next thing you'd have to be aware of now are the knees coming in. So you'd have to maintain that position, but you don't lose your top control. Back into guard. He probably doesn't want to do anything with that, deal anything with that armbar again. He's probably like, fuck that. Yeah, so he's driving really forward. So the nice thing about this now is you can look for sweeps that are kind of driving up. Nice. Triangle. Very nice. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. All right, hold on. The triangle itself, the setup. So here, we'll do the whole thing in a second, but I just want to address this one thing real quick. So be very careful when you set up a triangle that you don't go too high on the lever, because there's actually I've always been told this can happen, but I think there was a video recently. You can snap your own foot. So when you set up a triangle, you want to grab here. You don't want to grab out here, because what can happen is as you're pulling down really heavy and he's pulling up really heavy, you could snap your own foot. And there's a video that came out like this year of somebody doing that in a competition. So yours isn't like that bad, it's not going to make it too bad, but just slide your hands up this way a little bit. The other reason you do that is you can see, like, look, your knee's way out on your foot. And as you slide, you have to then go in and adjust that. So if you just put your hand initially, basically where your right arm is, just put your left arm there. And then what's nice is you only have to do it with one arm, and then you can use your other arm to manage things. So you get there, and yeah, that's all she wrote on the finish. Very nice. I love this. Love this. All good. Yeah, dude, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying it's something that can happen. I've only seen it happen. I guess it's happened other times, but you'll feel, I've done it wrong and I felt it. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm about to get my leg snapped. So nice job, man. Congratulations. Very good roll from both of you guys. And yeah, thanks for submitting it. Guys, look at that. Alejandro's hanging out in the chat, watching some videos, realizes that I do it for, I'll break down anybody's rounds, submits one. We got on the show that quick. That's all it takes. Doesn't take long. All right, so check out the description below. I'll get you on the show. Thank you. Thanks for watching. My pleasure, Alejandro. Literally, send me anytime. Let Pablo know. I'll be more than happy to break down his rolls. But yeah, if you have them, just send them in, and I'm more than happy. Doesn't matter your rank. Doesn't matter how long you've been training. We and Alejandro, I hope you don't take this personally. We just went from Nicky Ryan, right? And then we have Alejandro here. And Alejandro is just starting his journey, and Nicky Ryan would murder us all, right? So, like, there's no, like, you don't have to be a world beater, and you don't have to be training. You don't have to have a black belt. Like, I want that range of skill, because there's something to learn from everybody, right? There's every single person brings value to jiu-jitsu, and it's great to watch what people are doing and learn from there. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And I'm honored. Please, I'm honored. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. All right.